Yeah, so I have one of my clients here, and then um, you joined, I don't know, how long ago? Like 5 months ago or something?
Yeah, I did join. I think it's five or 6 months ago, and it took me a little bit of time to, get to a certain level to understand the way you trade, and it was quite interesting. It was also quite hard at the beginning, but uh, the result has been fantastic.
Yeah, so he joined with one of our special packages like Core 2 and Portfolio Margin. And before, so yeah, tell the people like what you used to do. Like, what's your background with options?
Well, yes, I've been investing in options for many years now, um, maybe 10 years, more or less. Not very consistent because I've been doing, my job. I have another job, and I've been doing my job. Sometimes I was quite busy and I didn't have the time. But I try to invest on options as much as I could, as I like. But my type of investments were mainly naked calls, naked puts, verticals, uh, iron condors. Those were the strategies that I was using the most. And yeah, depending on the time, I used to change from iron condors to verticals or naked options. That was what I was using for a while.
And so that worked pretty well. But then when we had a serious market crash, then,
Yeah.
well, tell us the story that you were telling me.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. I don't remember exactly that when was that. But basically, I've been 2 years investing in options, and I was doing quite well. I was very happy with that, and I not also decent money. But then all of a sudden, the market crash came suddenly, and I remember my portfolio was invested for I think 70%. So 70% of what I had in the account was invested. So all of a sudden there is this terrible crash. A few days volatility went to the up to the sky, and I start getting margin more. Uh, the brokers start closing some of the trades, obviously losing a lot of money. And it was bad because it wasn't easy to do anything. You couldn't do much really. But within few days, basically I lost 2 years of my investments. Oh, sorry, to be precise, 2 years of my gains. So it was quite hard to take, really, really, really difficult moments.
Yeah, and so right now, as we're speaking, we just went through the coronavirus crash, which has been one of the worst in history, and it still might continue. So how did you perform over this crash?
No, it's been brilliant, by the way. I was doing, since I started your course, obviously my mindset changed completely about options, and I started to be Greek, Greeks, and so I was doing pretty well. But just before, a couple of days before the crash, I was using one of your within the software. You have a couple of futures that tells you when the volatility and the price of the options, of the calls, of the puts are going up. So I noticed that 2 days before the crash, that the 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 options price for the puts were going up. So in order to protect my investments and the the positions that I had already that they were made of call, I started to make some protective trades just to protect what I was earning. And then all of a sudden, the market went crazy, and those trades that are open to protect my positions, they just, they became unbelievable. They start to make money, a lot of money, and it was amazing because the money kept going down, and I kept making money, which normally didn't happen before, and it was brilliant. It was also brilliant because I took control of the situation despite they were 7% down, the market was doing so bad. I was totally in control of my portfolio. I knew what was going on, and I kept making money.
I think well, I've heard from other clients that it's been life changing. We go through a crash like that, and like you said, to maintain control instead of being, controlled by the market, but just to be able to navigate it so smoothly and profit from it while others are not, builds confidence. And then with the software tools, we know exactly which strikes to buy and sell, where other traders, can you imagine, ones that aren't using our software, OptionColors, they really, they don't know what they're missing, but really they're trading blindly and just they're gambling, I would say.
No, definitely. Look, I've been talking to some of the friends that they do trade as well, and they didn't know, they didn't understand. I mean, they were panicking. They didn't know what to do. I can tell you, people that they're more expert, they have more knowledge than me about options. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what strikes to buy, whether to buy, to sell.
Mm-hmm.
It was difficult time. But as you said, one of your know which are the strikes is absolutely unbelievable. Hell,
Sorry, the video keeps pausing. But what were you saying? The last few minutes, last second.
yeah, I was saying no. Yeah, I was saying that I've been talking to some friends that they do trade, so they do some trading, and they are very knowledgeable people, but they didn't know what to do. They didn't know whether to sell, whether to buy, what strikes to buy, what strikes to sell. And if you have the software that you provided, I mean, you have some of the tools, like the one changes that it tells exactly what strike to buy in that particular situation. That is mind blowing, by the way, because you as soon as you make something, you buy that strike and you start making money in a crash. Is quite remarkable.
Yeah, what you said there. So, yeah, there's a tool in the software that shows us what strikes to buy and sell for every situation, which is, yeah, it's mind blowing, like you said. And then you were saying your friends knew more than you, but it turns out you know more than they know about options. And you're just going to learn more and more.
Well, I don't want to be presumptuous. I don't think I
Yeah,
know
there's a lot
much,
to
but
learn, but
there's a lot to learn. There's
mm-hmm.
certainly, since I started the course with you, situation.
Yeah, and I keep learning too. And sometimes when I create these tools, I learn more things. Like, we were just talking about that tool. Like, I was looking at it too just a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I can sometimes I create a tool and then I create more tools from the tool. Like it gives me more insight, more light bulbs go on, and
Yeah, I know. Every time I talk to you, I know I understand your mind is always trying to find new ways to exploit it. I like it. It's good.
yeah, developing the software is like a journey that never ends. It's like you take one turn and then it goes to another place, and it's like an adventure. Yep. So so far, you've traded the methods maybe 5 months or so, and then how much did you profit?
Now, my profit is from my account from the beginning of the year. So from January on, I'm on 60% of my account.
And that's with interactive brokers, which is pretty
That
hard to
is with
do.
an interactive broker. Yes.
Yeah, so you use the API with our software to connect to theirs. But and their
The other
API
day
is
I was on.
kind of slow. And then you trade a portfolio margin account, right? Yeah, he's saying.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So we do. I mean, we
And,
specialize in the portfolio
so
margin, but
yes, that's the other good thing about that, Maurice, is that I made 60% of my from my account, and I use only I think 5%, 6% of my account value. So it's quite brilliant.
right. And then the so we're not over leveraging, and then also the method stabilizes the margins. So even though interactive brokers change the margins, then you are still safe.
100%. Yes, I never had a problem. As I said, there were, some emails going on from EB saying that the margins may change. The difficult times, my account never had a problem. Really, never had a problem. Didn't move. Always, not margin more than I was already using.
Yeah, and can you tell people how important that is when your margins are stable?
Well, I can tell people by experience because, as I said, that when many years ago I was involved in the crash. Um, well, I think it's 2008. Now, forgive me, my memory is not the same as it was before, but I think it was 2008 when there was the crash, and remember that I've been close so many positions losing because of margin calls. Because I started my account, my trades with a certain margins, and then the crash came, and all the margin they were changed completely. So all of a sudden, all my positions they were closed, or majority of them they were closed.
Yeah, so to recap, then the way you used to trade, you had to use more margin to make money. So you were using like 70% of your
70
buying
some,
power. So
sometimes
before,
80%.
yeah, so if you were using 5% before, then you wouldn't profit much.
No, not at all.
Right. So
Not at
now,
all.
like with our
Not
method,
at
you can
all.
actually trade 5% of your buying power. And then if the market crashes or goes up, then the margins are still stable. So you don't get a margin call. But at the same time, you can still make a decent profit because you've already made like 60% profit in a short time on your entire portfolio.
Definitely. Definitely, but also there's another thing to say on top of that, Maurice, is that before, I mean, not before, now, if I put a trade and let's say I'm right about the movement and it goes in that direction, the money that I make it very quickly. So within few days, you make, you use 80%, and also you need a lot of time because basically what you're doing, you sell in time, you sell in theta, and so you need time to get the money that you are in. So that's another good thing, another positive thing about the way your method really is very very fast to make money.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of people, I think that's a big mistake that, nearly the entire industry makes is that they focus on theta, but they don't realize when they're just trading time decay, it takes a very long time. So their risk
Yeah,
exposure is much greater. And also just the risk involved is like way more than you ever make from the theta. So yeah,
definitely.
we're actually not really theta traders. We profit from volatility and price moves and things. It's a different approach. And then, like, I personally don't even use probability calculations, and you're a theta trader. Yeah, they rely on probability, but, my studies have proven that that's really an antiquated approach and it doesn't work. Sorry, we keep having some internet connection problems. Can you still hear me? Yeah, so somewhere between us, the internet's having issues. Oh, there you came back. But yeah, it's I don't know, there's just too many people out there teaching trades based on theta. But that's not really where the safety is, and I just found years ago, you really have to just trade safe. That's the number one priority, because every time this happens, the market crashes, then you have to be safeguarded and hopefully profit instead of, losing years of your profits all in 1 or 2 days.
100%. You are very correct. You are spot on.
Well, I enjoyed, meeting with you again and talking, and thanks for sharing your story.
Not a problem. It's a pleasure. I hope it can be helpful for somebody.
Yeah, and hope you remain safe, and everybody else does too. And like I said, my doctor was saying that vitamin D can help, boost the immune system and help prevent us from getting the virus. So that's all I'm telling people. I'm not a doctor, but I've been taking the vitamin D and sending it, to my family and things. And so you might try that also.
I will do. Thank you.
Yeah, so continue with all the good trades, and hope you have another good week. And then we can...
Thank you. I really hope so.
So, all right. Well, I'll let you go, and then I'll send you a message, okay?
Perfect. I'll wait for you. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
And stay indoors. Don't go out.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You too. All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.